Hello, welcome to another session of Learn with Veer Sagar. I would like to thank a lot of my friends and well-wishers who have sent me messages appreciating the videos that have been putting out and for making some suggestions on what I should cover and how. I have tried to reply to each one of you personally, and if I miss someone, don't please forgive me, but I will definitely respond. I will go through and see if I missed anybody and I will respond. And please do keep sending your feedback because that will only help me keep going and give more and more and perhaps better sessions. One of the subjects that most people have asked for is how to manage boss. In fact, one of the suggestions was, look, you've been talking about decision making in an organization, right? How about decision making in personal life? How do you handle, as a professional, how do you handle certain things? And so over the next couple of sessions, I will cover subjects like how to handle boss. Now, a lot of you might say, look, everyone doesn't have a boss, but everybody does, right? So how to handle a boss. Then how to handle employees, retention, how do you keep people, how you retain people, how do you select people, and then how do you create loyalty. Should you have loyalty to the job or loyalty to the company? These are issues that keep facing us all along as we go forward. So I will cover these subjects as we go forward. Retention of staff, selection and retention of talent, right? Loyalty in an organization, and of course, how to deal with your boss. Today, I will start with how to deal with your boss because everybody has a boss. You might think and say, no, I don't have a boss because I'm an entrepreneur, I have set it up, and I am the boss. No, you're not. You have a boss. Your employees are your boss. Your customers are your boss. You may not think so, but they are. As a boss, you may have certain responsibilities and certain authority. At the end of the year, end of a quarter, whatever that period is, you can appraise your staff and decide his career, his salary. But your employees are appraising you every day, every activity, every transaction. What time you come, how you work, how you react, how you behave, they are appraising you every day. They may not have the authority to give you an increment in the formal sense, but they all have the authority to make you grow or not make you grow. Believe me. Similarly, your customers are your boss. They're evaluating you. And they also have the authority at the end of the day, may not be directly, maybe indirectly, to see your career, how you grow or you don't grow. So let's talk about how do you handle a boss. And let me start with first, how do you handle any boss? Right? Most of us have a boss. So how do you handle a boss? First thing you got to do is to think what makes your boss tick. What not being happy. I'm not trying to say you'll be a sycophant. No. What makes him think? What makes him succeed in his own manner? How does he professionally succeed? What does he need to do? And most bosses are scared of their subordinates. Unless there's a personal friendship or some relationship, they're scared of their subordinates because they're scared that this guy might overtake. And therefore, they try and keep you under control. The less qualified your boss is, the less situation is. So the first thing you have to do is to realize, find out what is the boss. Has he got a complex? If so, what is his complex? If he wants to improve, what does he want to project himself as? Does he want to project himself as a go-getter who gets decisions done, who gets things done? So once you evaluate that, then it's easier to handle a boss. I'll take the first boss today. My boss was a go-getter. He liked to show he's a deliverer. He can do. So I had a situation when I was the regional manager in Dunlop. I had some big earth moving tires which were not moving. Right? The earth moving tires, but they themselves were not moving and they were stuck in inventory. So I needed to get rid of that. I met a customer of mine in Goa. He's a very good customer. He was very fond of me and I really loved him. He's a great man. He had a mine and I met him. And he was a big user of earth moving tires. And while course of talking, I explained to him. He said, "Oh, so what's the problem? What are your problems today?" And I said, "I have these tires." So he called this purchasing manager and said, "Take all he's got." The purchasing manager said, "Sir, there is no place to even store it. It doesn't matter." Then he turned to me and said, "But I want a discount." And he wanted a fairly large discount, which of course not in my authority. So I had to tell him, "Okay, let me talk to my boss. It's not in my authority. I cannot sanction this. Let me talk to my boss." I had no intentions of talking to the boss. See, a lot of us make the mistake of pretending to the end customer that I am the boss, I am the one who takes the decision, rest don't matter. I do the other way around. I said, I don't make the decision. I can only recommend. It's my boss who makes the decision. That leaves me room for maneuver. And I'll explain this in a subsequent session, this room for maneuver business. So I said, okay. I went up to the boss and I said, okay, let me talk to the boss. I will call him and I'll let you know. Of course, I did not call up the boss. I went back to him next day because I learned one thing, and this I'd like to repeat this. I may have said this earlier. It's easier to get forgiveness than get permission. If there's something you actually want to do not go and ask for permission. Do it and then say, "I'm so sorry. I did not know. I should not have done that. I will not do it again." Till you do it next time, maybe something else. So I met him next day and I said, "My boss is saying no. That margins are just not enough." So he said, "You've got to give it to me." So I said, "I can't say no to you." I said, "I'm so sorry, but I can't say no to you. I will risk my job. If they sack me, will you give me a job? Right? I'll risk my job. But I have a condition." He said, "What?" "Give me a check for this amount, 100%. I'll send you the money. You give me the check. I will send instructions to the office. They will send you the material, but give me the check in advance." I said, when I show the money to my boss, maybe he will get over his anger. I knew my boss wanted to show as a go-getter who meets his targets, who has no inventory in the stores, has no debt capital. So I knew if I went to him with the money and I said, "Here is the OTR tires, they have been sold and here is a check," he will shout a bit but ultimately accept the highly discounted sale. And truly that's what happened. So bosses can serve a very good purpose to meet your target and the company's target if you know how to handle them. In the next session, I will talk about bosses who have inferiority complex and how to handle them. And the other thing I want to talk about is why you must not be the boss. You must always leave. If you do not have a boss, you must create one when you talk to the customer. With that, it's Veer Sagar saying thank you very much till I see you next time. Bye-bye.